The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Phyllis never gives up when it comes to taking down her enemies, and this time, the person she is targeting is Sharon. For Phyllis, this is not just revenge, but also the only way to protect her son, Daniel. Fans of The Young and the Restless are no strangers to Phyllis' determination, even ruthlessness, as she decides to pursue Sharon to the end to bring her to light. Since Heather's funeral, Phyllis has been constantly questioning, suspecting that Sharon is the one behind everything, including Heather's death and the framing of Daniel. Sharon once stood before Phyllis, begging for forgiveness, but that only made her more certain that Sharon had something to hide. Instead of confessing everything, Sharon ran away in despair, as if she couldn't face Phyllis's prying eyes and accusations. Phyllis desperately wants to clear Daniel's name, so that her son doesn't have to suffer this injustice. However, the current plan doesn't seem to bring the results she expected. Phyllis knows that if she continues to wait, things will become more complicated, and she will risk losing everything she has worked so hard to build. What can she do to make Sharon pay for what she has done? The answer becomes clear when Phyllis decides that she will have to go big and perhaps use methods she never thought of. With that determination, Phyllis begins to outline an elaborate plan. First, she needs to collect evidence to expose Sharon's guilt. She believes that Sharon cannot cover her tracks as well as she thinks. And so, a bold idea flashes in Phyllis's mind. She will break into Sharon's house and rummage through it, looking for anything that can prove that Sharon is the culprit. One dark night, when she was sure Sharon had left the house, Phyllis quietly entered the small house. She took each step carefully, holding her breath, feeling nervous and afraid of being caught. She knew that with just a small mistake, Sharon could come back and discover her here. But Phyllis did not let fear take over. She rummaged through every drawer, every corner of the room, trying to find any documents or evidence that Sharon might have hidden. Phyllis found some suspicious documents, but not enough to incriminate Sharon. This made her even more determined. Sharon might have been careful to cover her tracks, but Phyllis believed that somehow, she would find her opponent's weakness. She had no choice but to continue pursuing and digging into Sharon's past, hoping to find something that would make Sharon submit. However, when things seem to be going wrong, Phyllis begins to consider another option, framing Sharon by planting false evidence. This may seem unethical, but to Phyllis, it is a price worth paying to protect her son. She feels that framing Sharon is justice for framing Daniel. Phyllis had tried to convince Michael that she did not intend to go too far, but her growing resentment has made her change her mind. If Sharon had gone out of her way to frame Daniel, why couldn't she do the same to punish Sharon? Phyllis tells herself that she is only putting Sharon in a position she deserves. Phyllis is fully convinced that Sharon is the culprit, and so she feels no guilt for thinking about framing Sharon to make her confess. However, Phyllis's actions are fraught with risks. If she decides to break into Sharon's house again, the chances of being discovered are very high. She knows that Sharon can come back at any time and will not hesitate to call the police if she finds Phyllis in her house. This could even lead to Sharon taking out a restraining order against Phyllis, leaving her with no chance to get close to Sharon and continue her plan. Phyllis is filled with conflict. She has gone too far, but the risks and the possibility of being arrested are waiting for her ahead. Will she dare to risk everything to carry out her plan? Or will she find another, less risky way to expose Sharon without putting herself in danger? In a tense game between predator and prey, no one knows who will be the final winner. Phyllis is standing between her own boundaries. With all the hatred and love for her son, she will have to choose between continuing to fight or stopping to preserve her honor. But in Phyllis's passionate heart, the choice is clear: she will stop at nothing to get the justice she believes in. Subscribe to Yonder for the latest news on our channel.